explain to you what's going on there and try to engage you actually. Engage you not in the problem, engage you in the solution. Because one of the things that we suffer from, that people are so engaged in the problem, but they are not engaged in the solution. And it's your choice. It's your choice, but it's our neighbors. We need you. We need you to stand by us, to stand by humanity, and to stop this madness. It's not our destiny to keep dying like this way. We have not been born to be killed or to kill. We have been born and raised to be part of you, to be part of this world where human dignity, where human rights are the values of everyone. But when human beings pay the price of politics, pay the price of the bad service and use of religion and ideology, life becomes a jungle. You know, I grew up as a very hungry child. I'm coming from a refugee family. 1948 was the establishment of a state for the Jewish nation. But 1948 was for me and my nation, a catastrophe, where many people have lost their houses and their life. In war after war after war, conflict after conflict, where people keep dying, and everyone wants to know is belonging to that land and to that part of the land. I grew up for a political mother. When my mother joined PLO, Palestinian Liberation Organization, I was a child. And I promise you, till today, I have never tasted what does it mean to live normally. What does it mean to live with duty and rights? What does it mean to grow up with democracy, with values of normal life? Because of the political situation, because of the hatred, because of the anger, it didn't take me a minute to participate in the first Intifada, the first Palestinian uprising against the Israeli occupation in 1987. It didn't take me a minute to throw out this anger, trying to raise up my voice, because my voice and others' voice were not listened. And when you feel ignored, you just scream and scream and scream. Then you will start acting. That was the identity that I grew with, a fighter. I was trained in Kalashnikov when I was 15 years old. It was bigger than me. The war was bigger than me. And I was not being able to shoot someone because I was not born for that. I get arrested twice. First time for 3 months. After that, for 4 years. With my mother for 5 years, where we both end in the prison. And here I have to say that Palestinian political prisoners have succeeded to create the best university that you can imagine inside the prison. There were 5 committees to lead our daily life. We have to sit twice in a circle, discuss issues, international, interior issues, politics, religion. You have to learn languages. I learned English and Hebrew, which has become like my mother language, Arabic. But I have learned something more powerful than any physical act or any physical weapon. I learned about my 17 days to visit my mother in her other prison, and she was engaged in a same hunger strike with 5,000 Palestinian political prisoners. And all what we wanted is better conditions. And all what we both want is to visit each other. I was 18, 19 years old, going to visit her after this success. And I really not just celebrate the winning, I even celebrate the process. I even celebrate having this tool of non-violence to empower my rights. Struggling for 17 days, where I would prefer that time to hurt myself than hurting any other human being. Then you achieve what you want, and you discover it works. And if this thing works, why shouldn't you bring it out to the bigger community? And this is not easy. It's hard. It's very hard. I was released by Oslo Peace Agreement, and I was trying to act peacefully. I was one of the young leaders of the Fatah movement. I really wanted to identify with citizenship, with my Palestinian nationality, to respect law, and to defend the Israeli secure border, but there were no border. There was no Palestinian state. The situation has become more terrible because the peace agreement has turned to be a peace of paper because both nations were not engaged. And the first condition to negotiate for peace or to build peace is to want peace. Wanting peace doesn't mean to pray for peace. Wanting peace doesn't mean to sit and hug each other and eat hummus. Wanting peace is to reach the place that you are ready to give up for the better future of both nations. Wanting peace means that you will consider any hurt of a human being as a crime, and there is no excuse. Not for security, not for anything. Wanting peace means, for me, is to be able to engage yourself in the other's needs, where you create a joint process for both lives, for both nations' lives. But I couldn't see that. The occupation is still on the ground, settlements are growing. Many attacks, suicide bombers, hatred, confusion, corruption by many politicians. Then you become tired of this game. Going back to violence is not the answer. It's not about having the right to resist the occupation. The question is, do you want to be right or do you want to succeed? Because being right is easy. Everyone is right. Now we have this competition of rightness. Even we have this competition of being a victim, competition of suffering. Everyone on both sides trying to prove that he suffered more. You know, I don't care. I don't care. I know very well that no one is happy. No one that his life is novel. But reaching this conclusion, responsibility, being able to open your eyes and open your mind and know that Palestinian people are not terrorists. This violence is the consequences of suffering. It's not exactly the hatred. Or these Jewish people who came from all over to create a state, whatever the values are. When 18 years old soldier wear an M16 and stand in a checkpoint and he prevent pregnant woman to pass because he don't know what she's carrying, and this woman dies, it's not for security. And the same soldier leave the army, end his service, finish his service, and the first thing that he do, he go out to India, to South America, wherever, to clean up. Then he starts smoking, drinking. There's so much domestic violence in his own society. Palestinian, vice versa, has no place to deal with the suffering. No place where to put this anger. Then it becomes to the other side, on the other side. And this endless game, endless, just create more players. That one of them was my brother. In 2000, when the second intifada started, as consequences of what I told you, my brother was shot, very violently killed by Israeli soldiers, while I was having my medical treatment in Saudi Arabia because I was wounded by a sniper. And this is the reality. So what do you do? I knew very well what does it mean to lose land, or what does it mean to lose rights, even to lose dreams of your future, plans for your future. But losing someone was something else. Was losing the taste of life. So how do I open my eyes next morning? For what? Nothing holy back then. Just God. And what war such a price? For what? I mean, life become good when you have happiness, when you act normally, when you have rights. That's why people lose their fear to die. Because they lose the meaning of life, the love of life, and for life. I become very, very angry. I didn't want to see the other side. I didn't want to go back to the same village where I lived, that I have to pass a gate with soldiers and talk to them. I wanted to sleep at night. Then tomorrow these people will disappear. I don't want to see them. And having revenge was not the answer. As a political leader was not the answer, as a human being was not the answer. How many people should die for this pain to heal? If my brother worth everything, nothing will bring him back. Nothing will replace him. And I promise you, I'm ready to give up anything that you can imagine. Anything. Just to bring him back to his kids. His two kids that he left with this huge package of pain. For what? There's no revenge. And it's not about revenge. It's about pride. It's not about revenge. So I closed myself in till one day my mother invited a group of bereaved Israeli families where we had learned that these people have lost someone close from their families in the conflict, and they are willing to reconcile. It was shocking to me to see an Israeli as a victim, because I could never imagine that Israel has tears or feeling regarding what I face from them every day. And I could never imagine, ever, that these people will admit for my life. then it opened my heart. It opened my mind. Well, this is another conflict. Because living as a victim is easy. But taking an initiative for change where the enemy become a human being is so hard. Especially we are not equal. We are not equal in life conditions. It is the relation between the occupied and the occupied. So how do you reconcile? How do you create? How do you talk about reconciliation? And reconciliation needs values where people can really let go, can really give up. And these values, mostly are political values, because forgiveness is a personal decision. It's not a political one. Reconciliation can be a political approach, but forgiveness and letting go is a personal decision. You know, I like when I was in South Africa, having a speaking tour, I like that woman. She said, she lost her son, and she said, forgiveness is not giving up your right to justice. Forgiveness is giving up your just right for revenge. And this is the place where you give up feeling a victim by being strong. Otherwise, you can be part of the game and you can be right forever. There's no argument. And we keep killing each other. I become engaged in non-violence with many Palestinians that you cannot imagine. Most of them are ex-prisoners, like me, ex-fighters, wounded people, bereaved families, local leaders, community leaders, mayors, governors. We all were together. All the leadership in Palestine, whether it is the community leadership or the political leadership, most of us met in the prison before. So we are close to each other. And when we talk about non-violence today, for us, non-violence is the process toward our freedom, first of all, as a nation. Non-violence is not giving up your rights. Non-violence is the place where your right becomes in harmony with your life because you act as a human being. Then you give solution, you give a place, a safe place for the enemy, for the perpetrator to give up. Because you are not attacking him physically. And I have discovered, and I have to say the truth, if I really want to achieve peace, real peace, I have to say the truth. I have to say here that I have discovered that there is a huge emotional issues pushing politics in the Middle East. For the Jewish people, that their fear has become our biggest enemy. It's not the Jewish themselves. For Palestinians, that their suffering has become the biggest enemy for the security of Israel. And these are the values beyond religion and politics who run the conflict every day. So, to deal with all of that, I have decided to go even beyond the bereavement, beyond the victimhood, and start with others creating actions on the ground. So we have founded a movement, a joint movement called Leading Leaders for Peace. We act on the ground by creating marches together to support and to encourage or to pressure the political leadership to sit and come up with solutions. On the other hand, recently I have decided to take the most crazy step where I went to a place of land, to a piece of land that my family owns, surrounded by settlements and settlers. And you know, we grow up that settlers are the devils because they are the challenge of peace. What to talk with them for and why and what about. They have first of all to move from there. Then maybe we will talk about this. First of all, we have to have our rights, then we will talk to them. Well, this is easy to say. I wish that this would happen tomorrow. I'm a Palestinian and this is the first thing that I want. But things are not easy like that. Years and years, years after years, we say don't talk to settlers. Years after years, we say that there is international law, Security Council, and the United Nations full of political decisions in the integration, blah, blah, blah. There is nothing. Settlements are growing. Today we have 500,000 settlers. 500,000. Can you imagine? They're not going to stand up tomorrow and just pick their stuff from their houses and leave. This needs a very painful process to engage them in solution. If the solution will be for them to leave their houses, or if the solution will be one state, or if the solution will be two states. When people decide peace, when people decide to solve the problem, then any solution can be possible and achievable. But when people resist it, any solution will not come on the ground. It will be stuck, as Oslo Peace Agreement was stuck in papers. So we have to discover how to act to create solutions. When I came to this piece of land, I'm mixing. Then I came to this piece of land and I started creating the first Palestinian non-violent center. There is many Palestinian organizations act non-violently and for peace, but creating a center, a physical one, in the heart of settlements around, this is madness. And you have to know here that Palestinians, most of their areas, they are not free to build. They have no resources of water. They have no right of normal movement. And they are part of militant management by the Israeli occupation. We are under two authorities. One authority is the social Palestinian authority, but the other authority is the militant Israeli authority, which is called the occupation. So how to deal with both authorities and to act and to create hope? I came to this land with my suitcase, with nothing on me, 9 months ago, and I found myself talking to settlers. One of the Palestinian activists told me that he knows a group of settlers who are willing to work for solutions. I was really surprised because I know I was shocked by that. I was wounded. I still have 12 pieces in my knee by a bullet from a settler. Then recently, and suddenly, you see courage, you see belief. You see people who are willing really to change realities. You see people who are willing to give up things that I could never imagine that they would. And it works. It really works. When extremists attack a piece of land for Palestinian or refugees, and you hear about this a lot, the same settlers go and replant them. When a Palestinian did a house demolition in Area C, the same settlers go and start acting in the court and everywhere to prevent from that. And then I realized even settlers are acting against the wall, the separation wall. I was shocked. So, it's not something easy to explain or to understand or to accept, because I have a huge political argument with settlements. By the end of the day, it should be a free, independent Palestinian, a vibrant state, and it should be a new political map on the ground where Palestinians will be free. Otherwise, there is no solution, no security. And it should be a secure recognized country for the Israelis. So this political management will not be achieved until we act, we talk, we know each other. And I know this is hard. I know some of the Palestinians will say it is normalization. What I mean is, how can you normalize a relation with the empire in an abnormal political situation? Because normalization has to happen between two independent states. We are not an independent state. We are acting. Reconciliation has become a tool to freedom, not to healing. Because reconciliation is healing in most of it. But for Palestinians, it has become a tool. Why? Because reconciliation will bring Jewish people to the place where this fear will not be invested in political, geographic, militant plans where my nation is paying the price of it. And this is the key. Me and many other activists see it like this. Even the people who disagree with us, I know, they don't disagree because they don't want solution. They disagree because they are hopeless. They have lost all of their hope. And by the end of the day, we cannot normalize our own relation without creating a normal environment. Normal environment means that every single human being, his right has to be in harmony of his life. If the international community wants us as Palestinians to fight violence and consider violence as a crime, then it has to be a place for Palestinians that they will not need violence. There will be no place to violence because they will have the right. This is the normal issue that you can ask anyone to do. If this militant occupation is to secure Israel, I think Israel can be secured more with peace, not with war. You have watched what's happened in Gaza recently. All of our hearts was bleeding. Civilians, people get killed in a crazy way. This is the consequences of lack of waste opportunities for peace. You cannot occupy a nation for years and expect security. You cannot blow up children and civilians and expect freedom. We cannot act violently and expect solutions. And this is proven. Both nations has no place to go. If someone will stand up here or everywhere and tell me he has solution for any nation to live there, I will follow him. But this is ideal. It doesn't exist. Both nations don't want to do that. So what do? Will you be able really to see the truth and to act regarding the joint truth, or do we want just to act regarding our own truth? Because when truths conflict, truth disappears. Truth doesn't exist. And everyone has his own truth. I don't have to agree about everything, but I have at least to accept. Acceptance doesn't mean agreement. We both have political arguments. I consider Hanan as an Israeli. There is no difference between Hanan as a settler as any Israeli in my opinion. Why? Because the settlements issue is an Israeli issue. Israel has to solve it, not to throw it in our shoulders if it is a problem. That's why when I hear, and I have many Israeli peace activists will tell me, Ali, we are good. We We don't get close to something. We don't like them, we hate them. They don't belong to us. Come on. What does that mean? Are you throwing all of this on my shoulder? I have to deal with that? I will not respect an activist, will not stand to take responsibility for solution. So, we have decided to act together in one condition, one agreement. We have just one agreement where we started 9 months ago. We agree about the management of this agreement. How do we manage our disagreement? We will manage our disagreement non-violently. People should not be killed or die for any cause. Then, if we will be able to sit and listen to each other, what does it mean to be a refugee? What does it mean to have water in my village? One day weekly. One day in a week we have water. While settlers are having swimming pools. What does it mean to take Palestinian kids 3 hours to reach their schools? What does it mean to live in Sderot, where Al-Qassam rockets fell down? What does that mean? To be able to understand these values, I think we can manage the disagreement by understanding the needs. And needs for peace between both sides are absolutely different. What can serve peace in Tel Aviv is not exactly the same thing can serve peace in the Jenin refugee camp. The needs are different. Then the partnership has to be different. The service has to be different. Because we are not equal. We have to raise investment, we have to raise development, we have to raise democracy, we have to raise freedom, first of all, for people to act free, to think free, to feel free, to come or to engage with solutions. Otherwise, there is 2 scenarios, and I will tell you. How much time I have? 6 minutes. One scenario. The situation will continue and it will be wars. Wars and wars and wars. Palestinians will have no land by the end of the day to live in. Reality is so. And we will keep killing each other. We will keep this competition. And we will keep dying. And the other scenario is, which is the hard one, is to come and take responsibility and to admit for one truth that millions of people on both sides who live there, 5 million Palestinian refugees all over the world, millions of Jews who really, the dream of them is to go back to the Holy Land, to the greatest Israel, the secure place for Jews, to bring a framework to engage these people in solution. Solutions are painful. It's like a surgery. Injection is painful. But if we can hold it, we will overcome the illness. There is no rosy solution. Solutions are painful. Solutions sometimes stand against ideology, against existence, against rights, against what we think is right, and just right, our own right. But believe me, the price of solution is very much cheaper than the price of war. Because we know what is the price of war and what does it mean to be a price of war. We don't deserve that. My Palestinian lovely nation don't deserve that. These people who I always saw them as devils don't deserve that. It is our responsibility. But by the end of the day, we are part of you. We need you. If America considers itself as the most powerful country, which stands as a judge today in the world to create democracy in Iraq, to fight terrorism in Afghanistan, we also don't want to suffer from the American veto. When there is a decision about human rights, about Palestine, about freedom, I don't want my kids to pick up a tear gas and say and see made in USA. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Because I grew up and I thought that all American people go and vote to kill us. And when I came to America first time, there was this border police who asked me where I'm coming from. Then I said, Palestine. And he said, Pakistan? And I said, no, Palestine. And he said, Palestine, Pakistan, what is it? And I said, Israel, West Bank. He said, He didn't know that I exist. If there is Palestine. And I was shocked that the whole country don't know where I thought before that America wants to kill us. This is the face that we know about you. But it's your responsibility to change it. We love you people. We love you, but make us able to love you. Help us to love you. Help us to love you. Because we love you. We love you, honestly, we love you. But we want to be in a place that our heart really will feel it, not bleed from hatred. We want to be part of you. We deserve. We are educated. We have culture. Believe me, we are respectful. Well, we don't live in a jungle. Maybe I have a big mouth, but I'm honest because I love you. And I want my kids to grow up with love for the whole human being, where politicians will not manage our life and put us to conflict. We need them, for sure. I am one of them. But they should know that there is a red line. There is a red line.